another 2 minutes. Okay, so in between I'm sharing the data with you.
क्या पढ़ा है एनर्जी पावर
We'll be cross-checking with all the concepts discussed so far about energy poverty, multinational energy poverty. So I'm going to give you the drive link where you can directly download to your system. So it's taking little time, and the data which we prepared for us to cross-check with the do file, the command, though we had that data, but still we are not 100% sure whether it will be working with each beat of the commands. So we cross-check finally it's very much working, hence we are sharing with them. So it's here. Contains references, etc. would be in between if it is required. PN will be reaching out to you over this space. All right. So let's connect. What we said in a couple of minutes back in our previous session is all about understanding not just the head count, not just the incident. We are also going to cross-check for its intensity and also the severity. So so intensity, severity, and then understanding the weights and understanding the dimensions, understanding the indicators for energy poverty estimations. So we have to carefully think that which data set we must take first. Okay, so I'll start. I have not specifically designed the PPT for this. It is completely extempore, but I'll be directly using the STATA window. So here it goes. So I'm just going to open the STATA window, and I'm going to load the data. And what is this data? This is taken from National Family Health Survey file. And since we are largely interested in understanding poverty, energy poverty, so we have to take the file that is at household level, and then I'm just going to load it. I hope you have got the link and it's being downloaded. Have you taken this? Good. So I'm just going to load it. This is the one you can just see on your screen. The list of total observations are 6,36,699. Okay, and this is not the original one directly taken. We have done some cleaning, minimum cleaning, so that we can able to run it. Otherwise, in a classroom setting. Okay. Now, some other aspects I must mention. Our idea here is to understand MPI with its dimensions and indicators. And the concepts wise, I think it's all conditions, properties have already been addressed. And since this is the last class of the entire 5-day module, some extent of validation with the data is essential and already we have addressed. But now let me also open the do file. Is it clear with you? Priyandu, you are sharing the do file? Okay, so he is sharing now the latest do file which you are going to work. And most importantly, more the observation you give from our result, it is going to foster our thinking for sure, and we can also go ahead with more scope for research. All right, hence any sort of hands-on session should not be just with running the do files. It should be connecting the dots in between and understanding facts correctly and derive some scope for further research. Now, for your understanding, I must mention that we are carrying the variables which are more important from the perspective of energy poverty calculation. In fact, this NFHS is covering so many variables. So don't get confused that this is the final file. You just simply download it from the website of DHS and started working. That is not the way a formal classroom used to be taken. And within 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it's not that easy to do it quickly with correction, decoding, and cleaning the data. So we did it. Some of the cleaning. Some of our attempts were for cleaning the data made. Okay, so coming to understanding the MEPI and its calculation. So first step is to install the package. That is, you might have done this. So SSC install MEPI, isn't it? I haven't even done in this laptop, so I'll just do it. Then in between, I'll also checking MEPI consistency. I think now this is fine, and this is installed to my system. So I'll just open the do file which we are working, and let me get the latest one over here, and then start explaining the context. And we'll also address some of the challenges which we faced for our paper that was on energy poverty, and it will also replicate our result with these commands. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so now I can able to open it. So let me give you some background information about this data set and then the indicators, variables, or the dimensions which have been suggested by Nasbommer et al. In their paper. So we will be utilizing the indicator. I'm just telling you from here at this moment. Then I'll directly operate this data. So here it is. I have. Okay. So starting one is on the dimension 1, that is cooking fuel. So we have taken as the indicator variable of cooking fuel is modern cooking fuel. So modern cooking fuel is carrying the variable name here as HB226. So this is the one we have. The HB226, it is on type of fuel. So I'll just check, and as we have repeatedly mentioned, to estimate the scores for understanding energy poverty using the Nosbommer indicators or methodology. We have to first of all understand the nature of the variable. So the nature of variables should not be mixed kind. That's the first suggestion given. Either it should be on scale format or it will be non-scale format. If it is non-scale, and again there are categorizations as well. If it is non-continuous or non-scale format, Yes, there are different types of a non-scale format as well. So in order to get the consistent result, it is better to convert them into the binary form. Okay, so we are actually going to recode it into binary form for easy interpretation and calculation. That's the first step. Is it okay? So now let me just check a bit here. This is my variable, and this is in bytes form. So this can be estimated, and I think that variable is not in scale, not in string form. So I need not worry for this. So there are different categories, and I can also check the details as well of type of cooking fuel. So there are in fact several categories given: electricity, LPG use, biogas, kerosene, coal or lignite, charcoal, wood, okay, etc. So we know that there are some indicators like others, no food cooked in house, etc. Some of them are actually carrying very less value, and there are many missing observations. So we have to carefully filter them and then convert into binary, but which variable we are going to take it as one, and which category we are converting into one, and which we are converting into zero. Should be understood very clearly. So one, if you are categorizing our focus is to actually prove that they are more different. Less towards zero means they are less different. As simple as that. With that, idea, I have to convert the variable. Is it okay? So, so you can just see we have. I'll just tell you, we have recoded that as V226, 1 or 2 to 0, even 4 to 0, then rest 5 through 11 as 1. Okay, and in 95 as the code 95 and 96 used to be with non-response variable in NFSS data, and like this one, these two having huge extent of missing observations. So we are also converting them to dot. Okay, and then that even that not relevant for our use. So wherever we are getting better information, and for 1 or 2 we are making it at 0, and others are for 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4, that is electricity, LPG, and biogas. It's 0, and others are 1. Okay, so I'm just operating now. So Control D. We have done that. First minimum checks, converting that variable into binary forms as per the requirement, as per the logic. Is it okay? Next one, about another indicator, most important indicator suggested by the original authors in the context of energy poverty. It's indoor pollution. So it's variable number S52. You can just check. It's over here. I'll just do one thing. We need to again recode and check how it's available. So regarding indoor pollution, as the indicator variable, so we have indicators like 1 is stove, 2 is chula, third one is 3 is open fire, and 6 is others. So what we have done is you can just see once, then you can also cross check on your own. So our purpose is to check very carefully to convert them into 1 and then 0. So 1, you can just see if it is 1 through 6. 1 through 6 is the entry. Here 1, 2, 3, 6 are the ones we have converted it to them as 1 is the variable, others are 0. Okay. So this is what is done. I can just simply, and I'm generating a variable also simultaneously to understand and use it further. That is our indoor pollution variable as indoor. Okay, so this is how I've done this. Now you can check that indoor on your own again. At the end we have this. So we have this as the frequency. Okay, so one with all these three categories which we have just defined, they are the stove, having stove, chula, open fire, and other forms are here, are within the frequency of 46%, 46.93%. Okay, you can check using your STATA package, and data is with you also. So cross check if there are any errors coming. I think hands-on is required, to have double confidence. So then coming to the dimension, not the indicator. So in the first dimension, we have had two indicators, indicator 1 and indicator 2. That is that you have checked. One is modern cooking fuel, and another one is indoor pollution. Okay. Now we are going through the second dimension. Second dimension is about lighting. So the proxy, if it may not be having with the same variability, I think in most of the literature they have used electricity as the axis. If you are not getting the better indicator of that, you can take nearby proxy as well. But you should have sufficient justification why you are taking this as the indicator or proxy variable for replacing, electricity or any variable which is actually explaining lighting to the household, right? So SB 206 we have actually generated with a name called electricity, and we said 0 if now you can just have it check clearly. So those who have electricity, that's of 6,14,107, and with no electricity, it is of 22,592. So now using this, we are converting so that we are creating a variable electricity with one. We are making it if household has no electricity, so that we can prove we can estimate correctly for the deprivation aspects. Okay, so we are making one household is having no electricity. Are you getting this? Following this correctly? It's not the 1 or 0 the data has provided. We actually change it, isn't it? Change it for our purpose, so that interpretation will be easy. Is it okay? So we have changed. Now I'm just going to run it. Fine. So just the reverse result derived and will be useful for better interpretation. Is over here, and okay, you compare these two tables and find out whether it is correct or not. So now coming to the third dimension, that is on services used by energy appliances, and and uh, within this dimension, it's one of the good indicator, even as per the literature as well. We have used here for our work is freeze or refrigerator. Freeze or refrigerator. So for services used by the energy appliances. So freeze and refrigerator can be considered as good indicator of energy appliances. Is it okay? So this is here. So that is the variable SB209. We are just changing it to basic appliances, and I'm not spending more time. So then mark carefully that you are actually making with the code 1 if household has no appliances of this variety, so that you can able to prove your score in a better way or interpret your score in a better way. Okay. All right. So this is what I've done it, and then dimension number 4. It's related to entertainment, how energy is accessed, and one of the sources. Even these are all using different literature. Most importantly, NASPAM, papers suggestions we have used here for entertainment. Our indicator variable is TV and radio. Okay, so and the code, the name of that variable at this moment in the data is HB208. So again, we have replaced entertainment with the code 1 if there are two things. You can just check. Uh, uh, there are two variables, in fact, 207 and 208. So let's check that. 207, I'm just okay, SP. So this is SB 207 and 8. There are two we are using, radio and television both. Hence, we have to take or these or another one. So whichever is available is actually defining the accessibility of that particular appliance, isn't it? So in the command you are using STATA extensively, you must have noted from the T05. So these two variables we have. So we have used 0 if both these or these, this indicates 208 or 207. One is the response. Whereas the household will be entered with one entertainment through TV or radio if neither 207 is radio nor 208 is television. Okay, so then that way the household is not having. Hence, we are keeping raising the code as 1. Household is actually deprived if they are not having the appliances correctly. So I'm just going to run it. I hope you have understood why we have recorded. So this is how it is all about dimension number 4. And it has to be with the dimensions. First standard rule is through the standard dimensions, because those dimensions have already been well tested and examined, and the theoretical foundation behind those dimensions and estimations are already presented over last 4.5 days. Hence, we cannot just randomly take our own dimension. Yes, indicator might be a proxy one, but it should have strong backing with literature. Next one is about communication. The better way of communication. Again, communication can be interpreted in various ways, but most importantly, the oral communication is mostly largely through the mass media channels and through mobile phones. So we have taken both mobile and telephone. The variables, so both the variables are with the original code is SB243A and so SB221. So one of the clarities I must mention here, wherever you read HB in NFHS stands for household variable. They used to carry with household variable. HB, if HB is written, means that you must read that this is actually a household variable. They already categorize into the household block. Okay. So then next one is we are actually making it with the code, and I'm just going to why am I coding this recording 01 like earlier? It should be It should be reverse, right? It should be reverse. Okay, so because let's check with the tab first. Huh? This one is for the one where they are having both the things. So, that they are having. It's a community. We have taken just the reverse earlier. Yes, sir. That was very interesting. So I'll change it then. Okay. One if both are zero, and zero if both are. Just 1 0. Replace it. No? 1 0 there and 1 there. Okay. Good that you identified. Even I checked it. Still, I think probably I am not correctly noting it. Good. From your side, it's well observed. So I'm just changing it. Okay. I hope other two files are not going to be disturbed because of this. All right. So we're changing the data with this recoding. Is it okay? Have you all changed the do file?
Yes, sir.
We are not going to send the revised one. It's your task to change it. Okay. I think earlier was here entertainment one, and if household have no access, isn't it? The previous one also the same. One if zero as the original indicator. Here also one. This one was type. Type. Okay. So change it. And why the logic behind reversing the order is to identify the deprivation. 0 0. I hope all have done this. Okay. So let's run. This is for communication. And I suggest everyone to do this. You might get some question in the exam. This is the strongest, in between suggestion. All right, so strongest. So please note that you might get some question in your exam at 2:15, and exam time strictly starts at 2:15. I'm saying in recording. All right. So you may plan accordingly. So anyway, coming back to after setting these indicators, five most important 5 dimensions, and with indicator variables, and also we have recoded accordingly so that our estimation is going to be in sync with the MEPI or Nussbaumer approach at Nussbaumer et al. Suggestions. So let's compute MEPI. So I have already installed as MEPI, but I think let's check once again if we haven't done it. So you please start installing MEPI, SSC install MEPI, then we can go through some of the calculations. Okay, while estimating the MEPI through the multidimensional poverty index approach suggested by the OFI team and or the group, and we are also utilizing the variables through different literature, including Nussbaumer et al. The idea is that what weight we should carry. What weight? Equal weight or differential weight. So Professor Suman has already discussed how weights are taken and which way we should do this. We start with first equal weight, and this is largely utilized in most of the estimations. And so first one is here. So MEPI, we are using all the dimensions, cooking fuel type. Then let me just check once whether is there any typo. Cooking fuel type. Then within that we have indoor pollution also. Then second dimension is electricity. Then third one is basic appliance. Fourth one is entertainment, and fifth one is basic communication. Am I too slow? I think it's perfectly in time, so that will complete. So and now after setting your dimension D wise, D indicates the dimensions to the strata, that you have set the dimension with the name correctly. And next one is to define the cutoff, the poverty cutoff or the income level cutoff as per the standard estimations. Now you have the freedom to use the standard cutoff. Okay, it should be around the estimation, national estimations, maybe at global standard, or maybe developing country standard, or maybe within the country standard. So 33.33 is suggested as per our own for our country's poverty level estimations. So based on this, based on this, we are just going to estimate the first result with equal weights. So again, equal means I'm just going to run it, then we'll interpret. Still calculating, you can just start deriving your result. So variable type is confirming us that the variable type is in binary form, and the weights form. Yes, the weights we have taken so far is clearly visible to us. Yes.
In this, we have to take the confidence interval ratio.
By the confidence interval wise calculation, we have to cross check at what level of confidence interval, right? We have that. You can check the other commands. We are going to discuss this in a short while.
The value of the value of formation.
Okay. This one, right? Coefficient. Not the confidence interval one. That is basically defining your level of significance, whether your work is still within the range or not. Your estimations are proving correctly or not. In any case, confidence interval is for our reference. The estimation is robust or not, strong enough to just interpret or not. Okay. So the M0, you can just check first estimation on M0, then we'll also discussing about M1, then M2, etc. And now, first to check the weight, we know that the most important variables should be carrying 20% of the weight, and within one dimension, one domain, one dimension, we have had two indicators. So it's equally divided again, 0.1, 0.1. So in total, we have 1 as the weight. Okay. Now, let's have some interpretations from your side. After looking, since data we have already given, we might give a table for you to find out the best answer in the quiz. Okay, let's cross check how we are interpreting. So far as M0 value is concerned. Coming to the indicator domain 1, anyone can interpret? Domain 1.
So this is telling the contribution in the overall average that which is the basic applies at the highest contribution to 0.365.
0.365.
Followed by the entertainment.
Then others, right? Okay. And so this is one where equal weights are taken. Is there any question? Yes, is the least one. So far as M0 is concerned. M0 with, you can just see here, M0 with its head count times its times its. What is a?
मैंने किया ही नहीं. তোমার কি বলে নিচে যা নিচে যায় এমন তো
What is the A? Intensity. We have already done that. So H times intensity is giving us the M0 value. It's adjusted already and deriving the result. Correct. Okay. So the next one, we will be checking correctly whether the weights are it is sufficient enough for us to define or to explain the result correctly or not. Now we'll check another one just with subtle changes, defining differentiated weight, assigning different weight. Okay, how it really works. And again, where to get this weight value? Now you just check this command. Okay, another one I've just given here to change the cutoff, then how it works. I'm not going to run it. We may complete our content little early so that we'll proceed for other works. So I'm not going to do this. You can check on your own. That is the exact data have been provided to you. Okay, now with different weight, how it works. The third one, I'm going to just run it here, and with the cutoff K is of 0.33. Is it okay? 0.33 again. Cutoff is of the same 0.33. Third one, this one, and each of the dimensions we are adding differentiated weight. So okay,
W1 has been assigned two weights.
W1 W1 because there are two indicators. So just mark it carefully. Same weight within the dimension. Same weight within the dimension. And rest are like 0.313, 0.13, 0.13, and higher weight we are giving here, and also here, because of the fact that we are out of the suggestions. Cooking fuel and electricity used to carry higher weight so far as energy consumption is concerned or energy poverty estimation is concerned. Hence, more weight is defined here and rest are carrying less weight. Is it okay?
Converse of cutoff was 0.33. And when you are doing without any weight, the cutoff is between 0.40.
No.
No.
I suggested that these K cutoff is as per the national estimation or international estimation. So we have the freedom to change the cutoff, maybe to 0.4. This is nothing to do with other here. It's nothing to do with it. These are very equal weights.
Changes are usually done to see how our results change based on the different cutoffs. So basically, it's a type of sensitivity.
My concern is not about right now in the weight. My concern is if I will change the K cutoff to 0.33 without the weight, then only I can check now on the same data set, like, is there any difference or the similarities? The result contribution is same. That I am making because in the first case we are taking with respect to 0.33.
Yes.
But in the second case we are taking with 0.4.
Rest are same. Only we are changing the line. We are changing the line.
So when we don't assign a weight in this command, it takes equal weights to each dimension. So
It is equal weight.
why is 40 cutoff giving the same result?
It's still giving the same result. Okay. How come? It should be different. Let's see.
Variation, but there is variation.
There is variation. There should be some variation. Otherwise, how come those who are at 33 level of the poverty line and they are also same with 0.40? It's not possible. And it's a bigger database also. It's not a very small sample size. Okay, so I have also tried to derive the result on my screen. I think let's check. Yes, these numbers M0 values are not same. 0.313
more or less similar.
You're exactly no.
This is like closely connected only because of large sample size. If the sample might be small, then the variation would be more. When your sample size is large, so you need
Because of the indicators we have taken more or less carrying, same like electricity, they are having, same response, 90% of the responses are having same. Okay. So 0.53, same. Maybe other fractional value overall at a 3-digit level it is same, but there must have been some changes or other fractional values. All right. So coming to further details, like if we work with differential weight, and that is in fact true. In reality, the dimensions are not the same. Okay? Should not have the equal weights. For easiest calculation, easy understanding, we used to take the equal weight. By default, it takes equal weight. But if we change the weights to 20% weight to the first two dimension, then others are divided equally. Then how things are working? So for this, now we can check with differential weight. So M0 values are changing, scores are changing, and then we can interpret them accordingly. And how earlier it used to be with the basic appliances having higher weight, higher value, but now it's getting changed, right? So it helps us for deriving better, policy interpretation and targeting. If our targeting age is for the bottom 10% or 20% of the population, then the weights and with their appliances and the indicator variable can be taken accordingly. Okay, now coming to the if so far in all the commands you haven't taken yet the structure of the data, the structure, the sampling design in NFHS, we have only taken the frequencies as it is. We have so far not addressed the representativeness of that data set. The original weights of the data sets have not been attached with its respective weight. So the population weight should have been taken in the calculation so that the estimation we are making would be representing to the India level. Okay, and so P weight is the additional information we are giving it, and the variable is the weight variable is HWGT. Weight variable here is SWGT. Where is it? So let me just, since it is already defined, I'll just check with its population weight. The idea of adding population weight, P weight, population weight to represent to the pan India level. Your result is defining all India level estimations. But in the earlier one, you cannot claim that your result is actually leading to policy making on some of the results would be useful for all India level. P weights, respective weights should be given. Is it okay if had it been the case that you are using the individual data, it's the household level data. Wherever you are using the individual data, you would have given the individual weight, not the population weight. Is it okay? So And I think you remember very well DHS. DHS follows probability proportionate to size sampling design along with the multi-stage sampling procedure. Hence, even at the very narrower setting of the variable till the sixth schedule of their observations are still carrying more than 90% of the information. Once you are utilizing sixth schedule onwards within the same data set, your variable is actually narrowed down to a very lowest level. So in that case, you are supposed to take weight. Whenever your model is very, very narrowly defined at a very or at a very sub level, at a very core level. In that case, of course, your final sample will be very less, isn't it? When your final sample is less, it cannot able to represent entire India. You have to take population weight or the individual length your file is with individual information. Is it okay? So hence I should try here. Yes. So our estimations are now based on the population weight. It's calculating, and I think we can interpret.
How do we
Yeah, it's numbers.
we generate it by dividing the disease
By the suggestions given in the modular column. This has to be clear. You have to make it to the comparable scale format. Otherwise, the weight is a very big number, isn't it? Probably in million. You have to define it. It's given already given in the variable itself. The moment you click, even they have also converted as well in some of the rounds. Fine. So that is the one good that you have pointed out. For your knowledge, those who are working for the first time with NFHS data or DHS data, so they used to give a suggestions to convert your weight variable and check the weight variable. Simple search weight they will give you in one line. Divide that with 1 lakh, not 10 lakh. 160. 160, isn't it? Correct. Right. 160 should be divided. Then only you will get the correct weight. All right. I think so far we are calculating M0. It's fine with different approaches, and this is guaranteeing our answer. Then if we have by default taken the confidence interval as 95%. So we can check how robust our work at a different confidence interval level. We can check at 99% also. So this one is, you can just check this one at the end. You will get at level 95. Specifically, it will highlight 95, but by default it comes with the 95 level confidence interval. Now in the next one, you can just check that we have changed to level 99. Here it is. Okay. At the end, we have changed to level 99. So when it is at a higher level of confidence, so your result is going to be more strengthened. Your interpretation is going to be much better. Still, it is valid at 99 level of confidence interval also. Then whatever you are proposing probably is going to be accepted. Okay. So next one is we'll check by some of the factors. Like at different level. Maybe you can just check we are going to check or decompose that result. At what happens at sub level, and through certain variable, maybe through sector or maybe through some specific states categories, right? So there are various ways by which we can decompose. Here I will just check once and I will tell you HB check with this variable first. HB 025. I think from the beginning we already guided, and we can also check its variable correctly. No, I think it is not here. Let me just check over here first. So it's its type of place of residence, okay, and then with the code 1 for urban and 2 for rural. So we'll just decompose the M0 value by sector or by area, okay, so that our estimations are going to be better. So this is one, then this is second one. I'll just do it faster. I think we have already spent time on this. No need to spend more time. And decomposing here. So here is the result. So it will now give us the figure by the area, rural and urban areas.
बस कर मैं सोच रहा हूँ यहाँ पे जाके एक डायरेक्ट मिलता है वेट फॉर सेकंड
So there are in the M0 you can just check by rural and by urban. You can have a clear comparison between rural and urban estimations and their respective scores. Is it okay? So this will be very useful. Now just have a check between rural and urban with some of the indicators where we get higher value, where we get lesser value, where they are more deprived. Okay, in which particular indicators highest so far as urban area is concerned, you can find this is the one. So far as cooking fuel is concerned, it is highest in urban areas, then also fairly high in rural areas. But there are some changes by their score. Okay. So then by domain, each domain wise calculation is also present, and how far they are contributing to the total scores. I can discuss as well, but I think let's proceed a little faster. We are hitting almost 1. We need to conclude before time, so no need to stretch much here. Now, when you have have a data at a very disaggregated level, though we are using 6 lakhs observations at this moment, but we know that out of that you want to replicate your data with certain sample level at a strata soft sample level, at a strata level, stratum level. So that way you are supposed to assign the to this data that look, I am going to use the sample weight. I want to use I want to find out the analysis at subsample level as well. Subsample level as well. So in that way, we can use the command. I think in the previous lectures that have been mentioned as well. SBI set. SBI set, once it is given, then it will actually pick up the sample data, not the entire data for your calculation, and give you the robust analysis. So SBI set is very useful. Those who are working at a very micro level, SBI set command should be utilized. This is what we have mentioned here. Is it okay? It's a subsample level. And again, we can give the result without summary. So where summary is required, you can. So far we have been deriving result with summary. We mention at the end as no summary, then it is only going to give us basic results. You can just see. This is being calculated. All right, so no detailed information is given. Only basic calculation for M0 is made using the weight also. The population weight. The same result is here, but without summary is derived. At the end, we are simply mentioning no summary. Have you checked the do file? Again, the result can be also carried with no summary and no decomposition. Decomposition already made it. If you also don't want the decomposition, that can be also mentioned at the end as no decomposition. Okay. The next one is yes. Over the time in our lectures earlier as well, we've been mentioning that yes, after getting the scores, how to define clearly that whether the unit is completely deprived or not deprived. Whether they are deprived or not deprived, how to understand yes or no. So in binary form, if we really want to present the result in binary form, so we have to define as like this. You just follow this. We have to create a dummy as that's called we are naming as deprivation dummy. Okay, at the end, just check carefully. At the end, defined as deprivation dummy as this with the name D underscore dummy. Okay, so
Sir, can you repeat what is this?
basically, the score which you have defined so far, it's giving just the score. We wanted to categorize. Let's define derive the result and interpret it. I think it will be useful. Want to categorize into a dummy form, whether they are deprived or they are not deprived. Okay. Now you can see since the deprivation score is now derived and can be clearly mentioned in our result. So M0 score is there, but it is also providing the deprivation details with their respective weight. Okay. So far we initially discussed about the MPI score. After that, we started discussing about MPR score with cutoffs. Then we discuss about equal weight with non-equal weight. Now we are discussing in between we also discuss about the interval level of confidence Y check. Then we also decompose those score by their sector. We can also decompose at different level as well. That is done. Then we are actually explaining the deprivation score. So deprivation score is done by defining the deprivation dummy. So deprivation dummy and its score can be calculated like this. Dummy wise we just mentioned. So score is it has to be deprivation score with this command. So these scores might be useful in our other models. Once we convert these, MPI score to the specific deprivation score, I think we can take to use these scores for our other, models. As it's a kind of control variable in your model. So both deprivation score and both deprivation dummy can also be taken together in one command. And if we specifically mention at the end like this, not going to derive, you have to mention both deprivation score and deprivation dummy. But I think in both the case, score is written right. It has to be corrected. We have to change it here as well. We have to mention here as deprivation dummy. In both we carried this with the same name. Please correct it as deprivation dummy, isn't it? So Just give me a moment. Yes. There are some errors that is of our mistake. So we did it at the very last moment, even if Professor Shuman suggested number of times to me and tried to cross check without while the details I need to cross check, but we delayed a bit. All right, now, so this is how it works. I think you can correct it and save it. So we are not providing you the corrected do file, you have to correct it, okay, in the classroom itself. Fine. Now about Vajpayee and Mohanty struggle to reach a understanding all those indicators which we have said, and only novelty here is that we have changed some of the indicators dimensions with the best fit variables, best suited variables. Okay, given the context or given the Indian context. So it's not Vajpayee and another Vajpayee. It's new form of Vajpayee. It's Mohanty. All right. So somewhere it is the idea of my PhD work, of our PhD work to him. That is why this program is made. And the best suggestions if you are going to give will be actually very useful. So anyway, we have also cited our references of our article, and wherever you want to cross check with us with the result. Even the same data is not going to check the complete result published, covered in our published article. So we have done some filtration, some sampling made in between. So I'm not going to explain between the lines in the code. I think more or less we have discussed and how we have done it. I think sufficient logic have been already attached, been already discussed. So let me just check the final one. If there are specific suggestions given, or if Priyank wants to say something, since this the journey started from his side, then it's fine.
In these commands, I have not included all the variables. I actually have not included the updated indoor variable. I have kept it same. However, the digital dimension aspect I have included in these commands. So that variable I am changing, and I have reduced one dimension because now with advancement in technology, where the bridge between communication and information has been the gap between information and communication has been bridged. So what I did, I created an indicator, digital access, where I included mobile phone, internet, and computer as a one indicator, and mobile without internet and telephone as other indicator, just for communication. And I have kept the basic communication same, means TV and radio. However, in the smartphone and computer thing, the digital access, it is also incorporated. So there is a divide.
Okay, so these are all actually the commands. If you have confusions, do ask questions. We will be addressing this very carefully.
Sir,
Okay. I think one question was also there in the previous session. So about any other tools, other variable we can take. If it is not available, but you need to carry in sync with the literature, and the logic should be should be rational. Okay, so logic should be the best one which you are mentioning with sufficient literature. Okay, yes, you have.
sir, in this paper, have you used unequal within dimensions? Like I can see dimensions unequal within.
From the second one, no? Okay, you have queried why we are taking it or how we are taking it. Okay, okay. So,
we are based on importance of the variable. As the digital social access already carries many of the things, like we usually don't rely on radio or just television anymore. I've given digital access more way. So we can have different weights based on our own importance.
okay, question is for our paper, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Fine. So we have been repeatedly saying, it depends on the context we are explaining. but not like you are completely giving, more than 50% weight to any single indicator. Probably it is not justifying the society correctly. So if you have still some doubt on understanding the weight, why not, check the, distribution function first, of variables. Then also check, try to check, simple EFA analysis, exploratory factor analysis. Then you can identify which are the relevant factors. And based on some, estimations and with, some suggestions from the literature, I think you can take the approximate value. There is no strictest rule that you are supposed to take this as the weight. That has been repeatedly mentioned by me as well as by Professor Suman as well. Okay. The logic he has already given why we are actually changing that weight. Is there any query?
25 in the line 75.
Line 75.
Subgroup sampling based on survey.
75, right? Subgroup, okay.
We explain subgroup sampling in there's some error diagram.
Yeah.
Actually, the weight variable somewhere we mention it correctly. Yes.
So just now someone told me the PSU and STATA variables are missing from the file. So
Some variables are missing. Okay, that will.
it's not an issue. You can use the same command of the original file. It will go.
On
It is whether in option that B dummy score, we're adding the dummy and desired score both together. That command is not working.
Because you have
But it worked here, right?
you take the dummy. First drop that, then you can compute both. I mean, if you want to calculate again, you already generated a dummy. So that's
If you drop that, then
I need to change the name here. Let's change the name here.
It's already created a variable.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's not
technical.
So actually, what is the main motto that we are generating the dummy along with the exact score?
No, it was to show that you can generate both. Suppose if you want to check it on a logic model and your dependent variable is MPI, you can use a dummy variable. If you want to go with the OLS thing, you can use
Score. You can use the deprivation score. The deprivation is dummy.
Sorry. Can you just repeat it?
Let me. Since I'm here to pay, I'm catching you correctly. Okay. Since it's a website, so though he's giving correct answer.
Yeah.
Okay, like why we're deriving these results. We are trying to derive the results either by score or by certain categories. If we are saying in a classroom is performing better. Okay, I'm saying a classroom is performing better. So better maybe identify by score or maybe from a cutoff. Okay, 60% above are of more than 50%. More than 50% are scoring 60% above marks. So if I can interpret them in binary form, in a dummy form, those who score more than 1, those who score less than 1, the interpretation is very easy, right? That's the first purpose of interpreting in dummy format. Again, what he said is also right. If you are still carrying that variable, dummy variable for another model, regression model, maybe with a dummy dependent variable model, so that time it will be highly useful. And if you are not using it, you are only using a simple OLS model, the score would be pretty enough for you to work. Therefore, we try to show you all the possible scores and formats where MPI or the score, MPI can be presented. All right. Is there any other queries? Yes, some corrections are there. We'll try to best to give it. Otherwise, if you work with the original data, you can simply use that variable and run your command. Yes.
Sir, in the first convention, we have in
Indoor.
if you look at the percentage of the generation,
Okay.
say so there is a reason for it. Because when so much of data is history, There were indicators, like I said earlier, there were indicators which differentiated between tool type based on based on what I said. Based on ventilation of the tool. Chimney, with chimney without chimney. In the latest stages, there is no mention of the chimney. So, but and if we are not including that, all the tools mentioned in the current CHS survey are related to unclean use. Whether it is stove or
No, also precise question. Listen to the question. Probably he has already checked the result and is finding no difference, right?
For example, let's say we combine one indicator.
Okay.
Let's say if household is deprived of both of the then deprived of use of the indicator, then it is considered deprived. So, I mean, it doesn't make any if we are considering it, we are keeping
Two separate.
even if you calculate the MPI, I have done it. Then
It comes out to be the same.
Everything remains same. So, I mean, even if you assign the weights after combining these indicators, so I mean, people who have access to clean energy do not have those rely on, and those, I mean, and vice versa. So it doesn't make.
Okay.
That's why, sir, because what happened when I saw the Thomas paper, he has said he has first differentiated between clean tubes and unclean tubes. Then he said those who are using unclean tubes, how they are cooking. I mean, how they are using. So in current data, both are same. All those who are using unclean tube are all so the
non-users for another category.
That's why included that those who are cooking inside house and those who are cooking outside. That will differentiate a little. However, still, since the observation of people cooking outside the house is very less, more or less the
results are coming out to the same. But wherever we have the same result, is it wise to decompose to another category, or to derive a different category altogether? It's not even required, isn't it?
Yes.
Why? Basically, he's saying if the results are same, why is it same? And if it is same, can we the same dimension instead of its of dimensions? Right?
Otherwise, in all the remaining four dimensions, we have only one indicator. I mean, we have,
here it is only two.
But even if we combine these two indicators, the results are
still same as he has just pointed out. There are very less observations for the other case.
So it will be different when we do a primary survey, but here we do large observations and very small number of people looking out.
Maybe we'll be in a individual level of survey in a micro setting. Probably we'll be hitting the right question. Whereas the enumerators at the pan India level, they used to have a very basic question. So based on that, all the responses are very less. Okay, so that can be thought of. Any other queries?
Sir, is it possible to decompose the MPI values state-wise, like you have done for the
I think if you have a clear, defined, decomposed, if you divide the state because of some reasons, maybe for aspirational district, non-aspirational district, I think you can decompose as well.
You can divide binary, but not in different dimensions.
Your decomposition should be made with certain categories, right? Otherwise, how come we are going to decompose
more than two or
can be. You are simply adding by. By you are adding by, so it can be. Research should be categorical, so that it will clearly differentiate one against other. Any other?
So can you use different weights in the same dimension for different indicators?
In the same time?
Dimension for two different indicators?
Two different indicators means I didn't get you.
We have two different weights.
Different weights.
Yes.
In same dimension, there are two indicators.
Right.
You can assign different weights to each indicator.
Okay, okay.
That
Okay, that is the question. All right. Okay, I think we have already reached at the scheduled hour. So, given my freedom and given my idea along with the suggestions from the experts, I think I hope you have received the expected content and ideas. I hope you will keep us reaching, you will be, writing to us and inform what else is required. In the post-lunch session, there will be no session in the post-lunch hour. We'll have evaluation at 2:15. Strictly at 2:15, we'll wind up in 20 minutes. Within 10 minutes, we are promising to give you the score for all. Okay. So by 2:45, everything will be said. By 2:40, everything will be said. At sharp 2:45, we'll have our valedictory, and you will be given a response sheet, a feedback form, and थोड़ा अच्छा भर देना, ठीक है? Okay, okay. So most importantly, give us the scope to work further. Okay, so that is not just writing a feedback per se. Give us some scope for working further. This is just at the starting level of this kind of module. Dr. Suman has given me an idea that why not continuing for some more sequels with more in-depth module. So if you are actually giving good directions to think further, it will be really useful. All right, now since we are not going to meet in between for at least 1 hour, so please prepare for your exam. That's we call it not exam, it's called evaluation. Okay, evaluation is different than that of exam. Okay, so and all the questions will be MCQ type. We are having 20 questions in 20 minutes. And we'll be providing a box, everything will be visible to you. So I'm not spending more time. We have to rush through to our department. Our questions are not yet complete. For your kind information, we are still preparing the question. And we'll also complete our food before time. So these stops are still there. So guys, good luck for your exam. We'll meet at 2:15. All right. See you.